forced out by a tiny handful of people. Johnson said a letter from the committee made it clear that they were going to, quote, use the proceedings against me to drive me out of Parliament. Johnson's resignation automatically sets in motion a by-election for his seat, but he didn't close the door entirely on political life. He said in his statement that he was sad to be leaving Parliament, before adding, at least for now.
Leading then to this resignation, the committee clearly faulted him over Partygate, so Boris Johnson really jumped before he could be pushed and had a lot to say before he did that. He said that the committee had ruled against him to his amazement, that they were determined to drive him out of Parliament. He said the committee has not found a shred of evidence that he knowingly misled Parliament. He called the committee a kangaroo court showing egregious bias. Strong words. Boris Johnson aimed strong accusations particularly against Rishi Sunak, who he described as an occupant of the same building through lockdown, and so who, like him, should have been faulted if he was, and for similar reasons. They were both fined by the police after all. This then is a question and an argument hanging over Rishi Sunak that no doubt others will pick up. And he said in another clear attack on Rishi Sunak, while Sunak was in the US, that Britain has passively abandoned a free trade deal with the US. He also accused the Rishi Sunak government of preparing silently to undo Brexit. All this, he said, goes against the wishes of the Conservative Party members, and that is the constituency he is now appealing to, and to his own parliamentary constituency as well. He names them, praises them. He says he's being forced out of Parliament by a tiny handful of people, and he is suggesting that the wider body of people, and particularly the Conservative Party members, will want him back, and that he will be more than prepared to work with them. This now is a question about his future relative to that of Rishi Sunak, and that has been an overhanging question for some time now, and this will be a sword continuing to hang over Rishi Sunak's head. Boris Johnson has not gone away. Everyone knows that he has very strong following in the party among the members, and this resignation could even do something to strengthen that support.
Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is quitting as a Member of Parliament immediately. In a statement on Friday, he said, I am being forced out by a tiny handful of people. Johnson had been fighting for his political life.
Hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.
His premiership had been cut short last year, partly by anger within his own party and across the country over COVID rule-breaking lockdown parties in his Downing Street office and home.
And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
A parliamentary inquiry was investigating whether he misled the House of Commons when he said all COVID-19 rules were followed. If it found Johnson misled Parliament recklessly or deliberately, it could turf him from Parliament for more than 10 days. That could have sparked an election for his seat. Johnson said a letter from the committee made it clear that they were going to, quote, use the proceedings against me to drive me out of Parliament. He compared it to a kangaroo court.
The buck stops here.
Johnson's resignation automatically sets in motion a by-election for his seat, but he didn't close the door entirely on political life. He said in his statement that he was sad to be leaving Parliament, before adding, at least for now.